But let's get into the sports. Um, I really want to talk about Howard basketball. First of all, I hinted on the show that I thought Blake Harper could be headed to the transfer portal, and why would he not be, right? In the landscape of basketball today, he is what the transfer portal is all about, and that is so obvious that Sports Illustrated ended up doing an article on him. I didn't even get a chance to read the article yet because I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm sure 80% of it is stuff that I know because this is the reality for mid-major players. This is the reality for a lot of players that I am fans of because of what I like to watch and what's accessible for me to watch. And then I just see them end up other places. And it just happens. You end up paying attention to these guys that kind of gleam through. And having been an athlete at a school that I know is kind of like capped for resources a little bit, like it's really phenomenal what Harper was able to do this year. I wasn't there at the school. I've never met the guy, but I met Elijah Hawkins. Elijah Hawkins was just in the Elite Eight with Texas Tech, who just lost to Duke, and Duke just lost to Houston. And Hawkins, what he was able to do at Howard, considering the circumstances, I'm sure is very similar to like what Harper was able to do at Howard. That being said, they lost in the championship this year to Norfolk State. Harper was never able to play with Bryce Harris, who was the preseason player of the year for the MEAC and defensive player of the year in the MEAC last year. 6'6", 230, strong. He can run the length of the floor. He can block dudes. He can put the ball in the cup. Harris was just a real strong leader for the team last year. And it's a shame he wasn't able to play this year. I think he broke his fibula like mid-season. And that that ends you for the season in most places, and it pretty much ended for the season. Like I kept being optimistic he would come back at some point. They had a lot of good players on their team too that are just going to be gone now. A couple of one-year rental guys that you had like Anwar Gill, but also some guys like Marcus Dockery, I think is probably done now. Um, yeah, like the complexion of the team is going to look so different next year. So Coach Blakeney and Coach Thornton, like, and Coach Sears, like they have their work cut out for them for kind of refilling that roster. But you think about a guy like Shaheem Oda, who played so well for us, who we got from Sierra Canyon, and then got hurt his second year. His first year, he played really well. I think he might have been like MEAC freshman of the year, or he was like first team. And then he got hurt the second year, and he transferred to the University of Vermont. And it's like the University of Vermont. When you look at it like holistically, I just don't understand transferring from a school like Howard, um, as like or from certain schools at all. Like you see Lee over at Princeton, right? Like it's yet to be seen what's going to go on with his degree. He's a junior. He spent 3 years at that school. It's possible to graduate from school in 3 years. It's really, really hard to graduate from an Ivy League school, let alone Princeton in 3 years, while also playing basketball. I don't care who you are, right? So it's yet to be seen what happens with his degree. But why would you transfer from a school like Princeton? I just don't know. I don't know. And so yes, like we've seen a lot of people have things pay off for them for the better when they make some of these transfers. But I feel like there's so many more people whose lives have not actually, basketball wise at least, have not actually changed for the better, or even guys who get in these situations that they thought that they wanted, and then things go a little bit south. Like you see Coleman Hawkins in the way he was talking about going from Illinois to K-State. He was rumored to be like at the time the most expensive guy in the market, like $2 million or something like that. And every time he did press, he's crying. He's got dudes in his DMs telling him to take his own life. Like it's not as glamorous as people make it out to be for whatever reason, dollar amount, maybe facilities or privileges or even coaching, right? Like I understand going from a school where maybe your coach isn't as dedicated to going to St. John's, where you have Rick Pitino who eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. But Coach Blakeney is as good as they come. He's played at Duke. He won national championships. His staff is phenomenal. Like Howard's environment is so warm and intimate, and like the borough is stacked. It's one of the hardest places to win at. You've seen that when Notre Dame has come and played in the house, and they on paper were like 50 spots ahead of us in the Ken Pop rankings that year, but it didn't matter. We've seen that when we played Harvard, when they've had some good years. We've seen that when we played Yale, when they had the likes of Azar Swain. And I just think that Um, it just I don't even want to say it brings me to the point of like rage because it's not that serious. But it maybe just it makes me shake my head like why people consistently would leave situations like this, especially when this is a coach who took a chance on you in the first place. Like you think about the team that Blakeney had last year, and all of those guys ended up going to the portal. Most of them as grad transfers, right? Like Jordan Wood, he went to Tulane. Steve Settle, he went to Temple, and Settle was a guy who he took a big chance on, right? He helped him out, and he ended up at Temple. Played two years at Temple. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these dudes, a lot of these women, in the women's side. I mean, there's like 2,000 women in the portal for basketball. A lot of these players should prioritize what works for them. And from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like that's happening, but I don't know everyone's situation.